Welcome to our YouTube channel, Dayton Solution for You. Video today is funded by fansabay.com, and it is about... The film commences with an unidentified individual obliterating 70% of the moon in a single blast, causing the world to plunge into a state of complete chaos. The Japanese military takes the first step to respond to the catastrophe, but they are eliminated one by a mysterious tentacled creature when they reach a suspected hideout. The plot then switches to Kanujigayaka High School, where the principal announces a major decision. He declares that Class 3, the worst-performing students in the school, will be relocated to a mountainside cottage to avoid disturbing others. But 3 students are frequently ridiculed and treated as undesirable due to their poor grades, and the protagonist, Nagisa Shioda, is also a student in the same class. However, he doesn't mind being taught separately and just wants to finish high school and get a job as soon as possible. Nagisa and his classmates are surprised to discover their new teacher when they arrive at their new classroom. It is none other than Koro-sensei, a tentacled mutant creature that supposedly destroyed the moon. It is then revealed that the Japanese government created the entire class as part of their effort to assassinate Koro-sensei, who has promised to destroy the Earth in exactly 1 year. He is giving the government a chance to kill him, and as part of the deal, Koro-sensei will teach the students for a year, and they can attack him as much as they want with special knives and pellets. Koro-sensei will not retaliate, but will instead block the attacks and ensure that the students are safe. The students' fate is now in their hands, and they must find a way to kill Koro-sensei before they graduate. As of now, they have no combat skills, and they are assisted by Tadayami Karasuma, a government-affiliated agent. When the class begins, Koro-sensei informs the students that he has signed a management contract with the school to teach them for a year. He has promised not to harm them, but the students can try to kill him, and the one who succeeds will be awarded 10 million yen. Karasuma, the teaching assistant, warns the students that Koro-sensei is incredibly fast and that they may not be able to challenge him. He reminds them that they must plan carefully to achieve their objectives and demonstrates some fighting skills with his knives and guns. However, Koro-sensei easily grabs the knife from Karasuma and cuts off one of his tentacles, showing his immense strength. Furthermore, he has the ability to regenerate his body parts, but the longer it takes for him to regenerate, the slower he becomes, which is his only apparent weakness. The next day, the students begin their mission to kill their new teacher. They use their own guns to target Koro-sensei with all their might, but he dodges all of the bullets without breaking a sweat. Nagisa pays attention to his teacher's emotions, hoping to observe them and strike at the right moment. Some of the bullies notice him and insist that he work with them instead of planning the murder alone. Nagisa agrees, and after some planning, he nervously approaches Koro-sensei with a knife in hand. As predicted, Koro-sensei detects the attack and repels it effortlessly. However, Nagisa has a backup plan. He unexpectedly embraces Koro-sensei, and the alien realizes that the boy has explosive materials. The bullies were ecstatic with their apparent victory, assuming that they had succeeded in killing the alien and would soon receive their prize money. Not bothering to check on their injured friend, Nagisa, they were surprised when the dust settled and they saw a mysterious coating that had shielded him from the explosive. Even more shocking, the alien was alive and well, having jumped to the ceiling in a flash to save Nagisa from danger. The alien went on to explain that he sheds his skin annually, much like a snake. However, Koro-sensei's mood shifted quickly. He grew angry as he reminded the students that they had broken their contract agreement by using explosives to try to kill him. They were only permitted to use guns. By nearly killing one of their classmates, they had violated their agreement and put their families in danger. Although he chose to forgive them this time, he warned that any similar mistake in the future would result in severe consequences. The following day, a student managed to trap Koro-sensei in a net but was unable to get a clean shot at him. Karma Akabane, a grade student who had recently returned from suspension, arrived on the scene. Despite his impressive academic record, Karma had been forced to study in the infamous Class 3 due to a fight he had gotten into while defending a friend from bullies. He introduced himself to everyone and asked to shake hands with Koro-sensei. When Koro-sensei extended his tentacles, Karma revealed that he had blades attached to his palm, causing a wound. He became the first student to successfully harm the alien. Over time, Karma tried various methods to kill Koro-sensei, but none of them succeeded. One day, Nagisa approached Karma, and the two had a personal conversation. Karma admitted that he wasn't motivated by the prize money, but rather wanted to eliminate Koro-sensei and end his terror. When Koro-sensei arrived, Karma challenged him to prove whether he was a good teacher who supported his students or a bad teacher who didn't care about them. Karma then jumped off a cliff, holding a gun, confident that Koro-sensei would save him and slow down enough for Karma to take the shot. However, Koro-sensei quickly transformed into a web and saved Karma from certain death. At a military meeting held 2 months after Koro-sensei's attack on the moon, several countries threatened to launch nuclear missiles on Japan to destroy Koro-sensei. However, Koro-sensei himself had been intercepting and disposing of the missiles, saving the country from disaster. The assistant teacher, Karasuma, suggested that they send another student to Class 3 since the current students were unable to kill Koro-sensei. The next day, a new student named Ritsu was introduced. She was an AI box designed to kill Koro-sensei, loaded with powerful weapons. During class, Ritsu immediately locked onto her target and began firing, causing chaos among the other students. They eventually managed to subdue her with metal chains, and Koro-sensei explained that her aggression had escalated the situation unnecessarily. She needed to work with the other students to accomplish their goal. Ritsu, in her quest for unity, transforms into an application that spreads to every student's mobile phone. The message of unity resonates with her fellow students, and they accept her with open arms. In the next scene, a new student, Itona Horaibe, joins Class 3E. He claims to be Koro-sensei's blood brother and has the ability to unleash tentacles from his body. The class is informed that Itona is a skilled fighter and could potentially defeat Koro-sensei. Koro-sensei, taking it as a challenge, decides to fight Itona. The fight begins amidst loud cheers from the students. Koro-sensei is distressed to see that Itona has the same tentacles as him, believing that Itona might be a distant family member. He decides to go easy on him, but Itona takes advantage of this and wounds him. Enraged, Koro-sensei quickly regains his composure and unleashes a powerful strike, defeating Itona. The students congratulate Koro-sensei on his victory, and he bonds with Class 3, becoming their indispensable teacher despite being their ultimate target. One day, Karasuma's position as an assistant teacher is briefly replaced by his rival, Akira Takeoka, who is very tough on students. During one of his sessions, a student expresses her exhaustion, prompting Akira to become furious and attempt to assault her. Fortunately, Karasuma arrives just in time to stop him. The two rivals argue, and Akira challenges the students to touch him with a knife if they want him to leave the school. Karusama accepts the challenge and sends Nagisa to face him. All the students gather around and watch nervously, believing that Nagisa is no match for the skillful teacher. However, Nagisa cleverly distracts Akira with a devious smile and then pounces on him with the knife, winning the challenge. One day, the sky suddenly opened up and a torrential downpour began to pour down. Nagisa looked out of the window and noticed that Koro-sensei was acting a bit different than usual. His body seemed to be expanding, and Nagisa wondered what could be causing this sudden change. It was then that he realized that Koro-sensei was allergic to water. Before the final exams, Koro-sensei made a deal with his students. The top scorers in 5 academic subjects would be given the opportunity to cut off his rubber-like tentacles, which would significantly slow him down. The students were excited to hear this, as it would make their assassination attempt much easier. The subjects were chemistry, English, home economics, Japanese, and math, and the students worked hard to achieve top marks in each of them. During the following days, Koro-sensei not only helped his students with their studies, but also took them on an incredible journey through space to explore the world. They had the opportunity to see and experience things that they never thought possible. The final exam results were released, and 6 students had managed to top the finals. Koro-sensei wasn't upset by this. However, he wanted a challenge, as he was starting to get bored. The day finally arrived for Class 3 to assassinate Koro-sensei. They managed to bind him thanks to Nagisa's observation of his weakness, and shot down his tentacles one by one. However, just as they were about to deliver the final blow, Koro-sensei caused an explosion and transformed himself into an impenetrable ball. Half of the students then fell unconscious as a vengeful Akira revealed that he had poisoned them. Accompanied by his disciple Itona, who turned out to be a blonde boy, Akira was intent on getting Koro-sensei. Fortunately, before things escalated, Nagisa and Karma teamed up and lured Itona into the open rain, subsequently cutting his tentacles and incapacitating him. However, they soon learned that Akira had kidnapped one of their classmates and was threatening to kill her unless Koro-sensei was handed over. This time, Class 3 was having none of it. With a simple trick, they turned the tables around and defeated Akira effortlessly. They then angrily spilled mud all over him, while cursing him for being a bad teacher. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Ritsu, the AI, created antidotes for the students and nursed them back to health. Shortly after, government officials arrived at the school and took Koro-sensei away to perform a public execution in front of his grieving students. They chained the alien teacher, who was still in the form of a ball, in a room inside a concrete dome full of explosives. As the students watched the live execution, Koro-sensei delivered his last message, expressing his gratitude that his students were able to defeat him. This showed that they were strong and capable of fending for themselves, which was more than enough for a teacher like him to be happy. The explosion went off, and as the military cheered for their success, the students wept as they had lost their beloved teacher. Nagisa was the most affected, and as he cried profusely, someone passed him a napkin from behind. It was none other than Koro-sensei, who had somehow survived the attempted killing. Seeing him alive, the government abandoned their project and ultimately allowed him to continue teaching Class 3 for the next term. The movie ended as the blonde boy, Itona, also enrolled in the same class. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. YouTube channel, Dayton Solution for You. Website, fansabay.com.